Ogden here, and welcome back to Week 8 Premier League predictions. The international break is over, and I want to know how we did last week.
Well, thank God the international break is over. Last week, Theo, you're going to be celebrating 11 points,
Ooh,
Theo.
that is good. I'll take
up,
that.
Aren't you?
Come on.
The only problem is I got 12 points. Get in there. The scores are on the doors.
How do you do it every week?
Skills, mate.
And what's the first match?
Where's my present?
What do you mean, what's your... It's not Christmas yet.
Where is my... It's my 50th anniversary, Theo.
Oh, congratulations. Well,
50 years ago, Theo, October the 18th, 1975, I went to my first Bolton game. And the first game is Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. It's 17th against 7th. It's two teams who are hoping to be a lot higher up the league. Now, in Nottingham Forest's case, Theo, 1 point in 5 games. It's a long time since they won a game of football.
Absolutely. People were surprised that Ange wasn't sacked in international break. And he's been given a bit more time from Marinakis, but how much longer is the question? They've got European matches and they've got Premier League, and the results recently just haven't been good enough. The sacking of Nuno was at a weird time. International break was actually perfect for them to start to train together, understand Ange's tactics, and if they're ever going to get a result, it's against Maresca. Right now, every game you don't know what you're getting with Chelsea. It seems very stressful. They've got a first team, they've got a backup team that doesn't scratch near the first team 11, and they don't even train together at different times. And Maresca seems like a bit of a very on and off manager. He's not like, when it comes to results, there's no consistency in the Premier League. So I think if Forest are to come out with a big win, it could be this match.
Well, Theo, it's 9 games without a win. You've got to go all the way back to August and Brentford before they got 3 points. And week in, week out, we saw it last week at St James's Park. They're just getting battered, Theo. They're not looking good at the moment. And they're facing a Chelsea team who've just beat Liverpool.
And Cole Palmer could be back, which is huge for Chelsea. If he's back, I'm sorry, I don't know what you can do. I think with him in the team and Esteval scoring winners like he did against Liverpool. I mean, let's not forget, we are roasting the Blues. They're 7th in the league. It's not good enough, but they beat Liverpool.
Yes.
If you beat Liverpool, you've got to get the credit. We can't back Forest right now with Ange. I'm saying they score 0 goals, Chelsea with 2.
Do you know what? I think my prediction could be wrong. It's going to be Forest 1, Chelsea 2, but in reality, it could be a lot more. Sunderland against Wolverhampton Wanderers is 9th against 20th. And Sunderland fans are not going to like me for this, Theo, but this has got relevance to the relegation battle.
What?
Well, it has.
You're talking about 9th place Sunderland.
Sunderland have made a great start, but can this possibly continue?
You cannot write off Sunderland at home. From the first game of the Premier League season to every match they've had at home, they've found a way to come away with 3 points. And now they're playing Wolves, who are 20th at home. How can you not back them to go away and get it done?
Because at some point, Wolves are just going to have a sensational result. It nearly happened at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium,
which I
didn't it?
predicted.
And you predicted that
I did.
almost.
Yeah.
Wolves have drawn the last 2 games, and if they go here and win this game, I will not be surprised.
Wolves-Brighton, I knew that game was coming. In terms of Wolves were 1-0 up most of that match. Brighton scored late. I can see Wolves coming away with a win here. Absolutely. Vitor Pereira needs it. Do Sunderland need a win in 9th place? It's almost selfish. I'm really close to changing my prediction. I've written down Sunderland to win 2-1. And that is what happens every single time someone goes to the Stadium of the Light, the North East right now. But I just think Wolves will come away with something.
Now, Sunderland fell a little bit short, didn't they, at Old Trafford? 2-0, they lost that game. And I've just got the feeling that at some point, this might be a surprise. I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit and say 1-1. But if Wolves win this, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm going to flip the switch here. I'm going to go Sunderland 1, Wolves 2.
Burnley of Lancashire against Leeds United of Yorkshire. It's 18th against 15th. 2 newly promoted teams. 2 teams who lost last weekend. And this has got the title a must-win game.
For Burnley.
For both teams.
For both teams.
Think about
Leeds
it,
are doing
for both
well.
teams.
Leeds are doing well.
I mean, let's talk about Burnley first, because they've got, I think, 1 point in 5 games, but they've played some really difficult matches, haven't they?
They have, and let's not forget, at home they've been decent. If you forget the EFL Cup, the actual Premier League fixtures at home, really solid. They beat Sunderland, and people were very surprised by that. I didn't predict it. Looking back, we should have respected them a bit more. They had a tight loss to Liverpool 1-0, and that was a late goal. And they had a 1-1 draw to Forest, which was very solid. I think Burnley can win this game, because if they don't, I don't know what game they do win. They've got Jadon Anthony, who seems to get a goal or assist every single match. They've got Scott Parker, who's solid. I like the project he's doing. I actually like the team that Burnley have. And I know a lot of people come into this game thinking, yeah, Leeds are favourites. They've got a good team now. They've got better players, better squad. But in that stadium, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I just don't know if Leeds come away with a result here.
Well, do you know what? I watched that Leeds United against Tottenham Hotspur game. Now, Leeds were unlucky to lose that. They had more possession, they had more shots, they had more touches. They looked really good at times.
They did look good.
And I think of these 2 teams, now, of course, Burnley, at the start of the season, they beat Sunderland. Massive, massive result. I just think Leeds are the better team at the moment.
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. High scoring.
And I'm sort of going to agree, a 1-1 draw.
Wow.
Crystal Palace against AFC. Bournemouth is 6th against 4th there. What that means is that this is the biggest game of the day.
Oh my God.
Statistically, this is the biggest game of the day. Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. Now, last game week, Crystal Palace lost to Everton. That unbeaten record shattered.
That's amazing. The biggest game of the day.
It is.
It talks about how much the Premier League has changed over the years. Overachievers in Palace who have just smashed it under Glasner and Andoni Iraola, both managers that are, sort of on the radar of all the elite clubs around the world now. So it's going to be a great game. And it's actually hard to pick one of the two teams.
It is.
Palace had a little bit of a drop-off last week against Everton. Massive win for Everton, that was. So Palace back at home after a break. They'll be back to their best, won't they?
They will. Now, I watched that game, Theo, and you came away thinking, how did Palace lose that? I mean, full respect to Everton, that late goal. But Palace have looked really good. They had the longest unbeaten record in the Premier League. But who's now got the longest unbeaten record in the Premier League? It's Bournemouth. Wow. Only one team has not lost any of the last 5. It's Bournemouth.
We're talking about unbeaten. This is going to be a draw. I mean, that's the sort of thing we've got to keep that record going. But also, congratulations to Mateta on his international debut for France. To break that France team, it's just insane.
Amazing.
It just shows you a bit of a journeyman, bit of a Jamie Vardy story. Didn't break through the team into 18, 21, 28. He rose late. Palace gave him a shot. He hit his prime later than most players do. But what a man, what a guy. Probably the best celebration in the Prem as well. Even if he scored against me, I'd still be in the stands going, boom! I could see both teams scoring in this fixture. Are you going to pick one to win here?
I am, and I'm just going to go with home advantage, Theo. I've seen a lot of both of these clubs this season. I'm going to go Palace 2, Bournemouth 1.
Both teams are balanced, great. I can't pick, like my dad has done, one to win here. I'm going to go for back-to-back draws from Burnley Leeds to this match. 1-1.
Brighton and Hove Albion against Newcastle United is 12th against 11th, so it's a mid-table clash, Theo.
Yes.
But these are two sides who've got to be pushing for Europe. Now, let's look at Brighton, because they should be higher in the league.
Absolutely.
Based upon the way they've been played. I mean, last week, okay, they got a late equaliser, didn't they? Van Hecke, I think it was, against Wolves. But they were the better team. That's the sort of game you have to win.
Yeah, and recently there's a video of Hutzler, the team talk after the match, where he just fires everybody up. He's a great man manager. Despite going, some of the questionable substitutions that Brighton fans don't agree with, he is a good coach and the players enjoy playing in that shirt with him as the manager. Very different to Roberto De Zerbi, who was just crazy. He would shout at you if you do something wrong. He would have a go at you and really make you feel bad in some cases. You see it at Marseille. The comparisons of how Brighton have changed in manager roles is amazing. But I do think, in the long run, this will be a great appointment by Tony Bloom. And it's matches like this that can really just prove as to why Brighton are so good. They beat Man City at home late on.
Yeah.
We don't forget that.
Oh, I don't forget that. That second half, they were brilliant in that game, Theo.
But they've got a great squad. It shows the depth there in all positions. And a good international break is important. And I do think they're going to start it with a home win. So 2-1, tight game. Could look like maybe the Geordies get a late equaliser chance that they miss. One of those sort of really fair games. But Brighton edge it.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you here, Theo. Now, I agree what you've said about the Amex, because it has become a fortress. I think it's 10 games that they are unbeaten at their home ground. And just think about some of the opposition that's been
The only reason they're 12th is because Brighton keep messing up away.
That is,
so they need to keep this
very
up.
true. But you look at Newcastle, Theo, Voltimada is firing on all cylinders. I don't think he's scored away from home yet, but he will very soon.
There you go.
He will very soon. I just think this is going to be low scoring, because Newcastle games this season have been low scoring. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. Manchester City against Everton is 5th against 8th. It's a massive game. It's a huge Lancashire derby, Theo, according to my maps. Now, Manchester City have got back into form, haven't they? They're the highest scorers in the league with 15 goals. And that man, Haaland, just scores goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, even against Israel for Norway, it was just real 2 or 3 goals. It doesn't even matter. They won like 5-0. He does it for club and country, but the most important thing about Haaland right now, you see it on his social media, you see it on, even he did a takeover for Norway's international break. He's happy. And when he's happy, everything else falls into place. He's healthy, he looks like he's going to score goals, which means he will.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at these things, especially when you've got him in FPL.
Yeah.
He seems like the sort of guy that will continue to keep on this record. That's why I sold Salah from my FPL and I bought Haaland. That was the big move. I think Everton have been amazing recently. Jack Grealish, Iliman and Dye, Kin and Dewsbury Hall. We're talking about really good players under David Moyes, who's just a great person as a coach. And in their new stadium, shining, no doubt. But going to City away, might be one step too far, just because City have got back to their best. I feel like Donnarumma's brought a calmness to that place that they needed. They're winning games, simple as that.
Now, you mentioned Jack Grealish, Theo. I watched the England game last night, and they were brilliant. I know it was only Latvia, but I thought England were playing a superb style of football under Tuchel. Where was Jack Grealish?
Yeah.
And also, where's Phil Foden? Now, you could argue that Phil Foden, he's not been at his best recently. But Jack Grealish, why is he not wearing an England shirt right now?
It's a shame, but it means he has a great break to keep scoring for Everton.
Yeah.
So the Toffees, they're not really complaining. I think they could sneak a draw here. They've done it. Actually, 2 of the last 3 matches at Etihad have ended 1-1. I'm sorry to say to Everton fans, and I do think they can cause an upset, I'm going to go 2-0. Just 2-0. Because I just think Haaland's that little bit too good. And right now, City have a real comfortable team.
Do you know what? Absolute thog-dad logic there. 2-0 to Manchester
agree.
City. Fulham against Arsenal is 14th against 1st. It's a London derby. It's proper tasty and naughty, this. Down there at Craven Cottage. I mean, the fans will be throwing caviar at each other. They'll be lobbing lobsters, won't they? I mean, what's going to happen here, Theo?
Oh, go on then. No, seriously. Fulham, I have to be...
That was just your voice. That's your normal voice.
Oh, don't have
You're
me
just
on.
a posh Londoner, you are.
Oh, come on, Dad.
Why am I doing videos with a posh Londoner? I'm a good old
You
Lancastrian
brought me
boy.
up, so that's your fault.
It's kind of my fault, isn't it? Anyway, let's talk
get
about
back to the football, where it's 14th against 1st, and that 14th for Fulham. Every time I watch Fulham, I think they're pretty solid.
They're good.
Team. They haven't made too many changes, but they understand what they want to do under Marco Silva. But Arsenal, yeah, they're top of the league, and if you back them to not get 3 points, that's a huge statement now.
Yeah.
Because they really won that Premier League title. They are now the front runners for the first time of the season. Fulham away is a really tough fixture. So many of the top 6 bottle it in this game. But I just don't know if Arsenal are going to do it. They've got Saka back, Odegaard looking good. They've got Gyökeres, okay, which might score you goals, he might not. Martinelli looks brilliant off the bench. Eze needs to start firing. This international break was great for him to get back into that squad and get used to it. There's so many factors that helped Arsenal with an international break, so I'm going to back them to win this game 2-1. I think they'll edge it, but I was so close to saying 1-1 draw. So Fulham fans, very close.
Now, Fulham's an interesting one because they've lost the last 2 games in the Premier League, but they've won the last 4 games at home, so don't completely write them off. But you do look at that Arsenal team, Theo, in all positions, and you're thinking they are best in class in almost everywhere on the field. Do you know what? I'm going to second what you've said about Fulham. They are a really good side. At the end of the season, they're going to be mid-table. No way in the world will they get relegated.
No way.
But I agree with you. Fulham 1, Arsenal 2. Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa now is 3rd against 13th. It's London against Birmingham, Theo. Now, Tottenham first, because they are the most improved team in the Premier League this season. They've gone from 17th to 3rd. Can they continue? At the end of the season, where are Spurs going to be in the league?
It's hard to know because Spurs nearly messed up against Wolves just 2 weeks ago. And I know they've improved their spot, but the truth is, Dad, this is a bit of a bogey match for them. Villa have won this game back-to-back. I was just in the Tottenham Stadium for NFL, and it wasn't a cracker.
Yeah.
And I feel like this could be a similar, not a cracker, sort of 1-1 sort of match. Maybe a Villa 1-0. I was so nearly right when I backed Wolves to win 1-0 at Tottenham Stadium just 2 weeks ago. And everybody was about to give me the applause that I deserved. And then bloody Palhinha spoiled my story. But maybe this time, this is the game where Spurs mess up. Because there's no guarantees with Tottenham.
No.
We saw it with Ange, and not to an extent of the same level with Thomas Frank, but there are times when that happens with him. You know, there will be upsets this year.
Now, I bumped into a Spurs fan at a bar last week, Theo, and he said to me, Spurs have the best defence in the league now.
Well, I think the Wolves game proves otherwise.
Well, there was only 1-1, Theo. I mean,
but that's the game we
has
just
got,
talked about.
Maybe not best in the league.
better.
I would say Arsenal, but it's got better for sure, hasn't it?
The improvement from last year, the best in the Prem.
Yeah.
But the actual best in the Prem, no.
Okay, well, let's talk about Aston Villa because they couldn't score for a long while. Now they've gone 4 games unbeaten. Have they turned the corner?
Villa have definitely turned the corner, and you see Morgan Rogers in the England squad, Ollie Watkins too. You know, they're scoring goals again, looking confident. That will show in the club football for sure. And yeah, Unai Emery needed a bit of time. They needed a bit of calm. They've got a new financial director of Olabi, the lad from Real Sociedad, the coach. So I think there is stability now. I'm going to go as far to say that they'll come away with a point here. Ooh. They usually do. You can't ignore history. History does matter. Tottenham won, Villa won.
Wow. And also Donny Marlin, didn't mention him. He got a brace against Burnley a couple of weeks ago.
Good point.
I think overall this is going to be a low-scoring game, and it could go either way. You could be right with the 1-1. It could go 1-0 Villa. I'm just going to say Spurs 1, Villa 0. Liverpool against Manchester United, Theo, second against 10th. What can we say about this? It's a tasty Lancashire derby yet again. And for me, this is one of the biggest games in world football.
Absolutely,
I'm going to tell you, when I was like 5 years old, I thought there were only 2 football teams in the world. No, because everyone in my playground was either Liverpool or Man United. I didn't know there was anyone else.
When I was at school, everybody was Liverpool and Man United. There was one Man City fan, one Everton fan, and one Bolton fan.
One Bolton fan.
And who was the Bolton fan?
It was you, Theo.
Exactly. So I completely see your point. And what really annoyed me, I grew up in Bowden. If you know what Bowden is, nowhere near Liverpool.
Yeah.
Why were there Liverpool fans there? Anyway, that's a different point. But Liverpool United, it will be a battering. Liverpool 3-0. I'm sorry, United, it's over. Amorim, you're going to be crying. Liverpool back at home. They're going to smash it. Anfield is just like, it's not even their home, it's their war room.
Whoa,
it's their war room.
Just let me say 3 things to you, Theo. Chelsea, Galatasaray, Crystal Palace. What have they got in common over the last few weeks?
Galatasaray away, Chelsea way. You see what I'm saying here?
I see what you're saying. And of course, if you look at the home games, I think Liverpool have won 7 games in a row, haven't they?
Thank you.
But Manchester United, a weird team. They've sort of clawed their way to mid-table, which is where I think they'll end the season, between 8th and 10th. Anyway, that's a different matter. They win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. I mean, they beat, I think it was Sunderland, wasn't it, last week?
There is no doubt in my mind, and you can clip this if you want, Liverpool will batter Manchester United. They got Isaac. Isaac's going to cook United. He is going to destroy that United defence. If we go like for like, it's embarrassing. It's going to be such a battering. I'm going to be... What's your prediction? Please tell me you back United.
I'll tell you what it won't be. It will not be a 3-goal margin. That will not happen.
Oh my God, yeah, because it'll be 4. Because it'll be 4.
Because of the history of this game. Now, yes, Liverpool are a better team.
We watched a 5-0 in this same fixture. Talk about history.
Well, I think we saw... Was it
7-1
or something?
7-1,
7-0, 7-1. Anyway... This is going to be, I could be wrong here, Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1.
Oh, Dad.
And
such a shocking prediction.
Bruno Fernandes will get a contribution.
Let us know in the comments. I'm going to give away 1 Mars bar. Actually, forget that. A Scottish deep-fried Mars bar straight to your door if you get this score right with the first goal scorer.
And finally, West Ham United against Brentford. It's 19th against 16th. It's East London against West London, Theo. And 2 teams who should be higher up the table based upon the money they've got and the ability they have within their structures.
Yeah, well, now West Ham have Nuno and an international break to get their tactics right. I think that's perfect time for a break. They've started to turn results over. They've got Jared Bowen, who will score goals, and even did during the time with Potter, which was really tough for them. And now they can bring the best out of other players, like even El Hadji Malik Diouf, my favourite player, all the way from Slavia Prague to here. I've always backed him, and I think he'll still be a great signing. And it could be in matches like this that he shines. Brentford at home, winnable game. They can score some goals. Maybe Bowen with one. Maybe Fulkrug. Let's not forget they've got a big lad up top who can score goals and did a Champions League final a couple of years ago. So
well, he can, but he's not. I mean, the point about West Ham, Theo, is they're in 19th place. They've got 4 points all season. They've got the worst defence in the league.
They're going to turn a corner. They need
Why
points.
do you think it'll change in one game against
Brentford?
Brentford?
Because it has to.
Because Brentford will go out here and they could easily score 2 or 3.
The relegation battle this year in the Premier League will be great. It will be great. I don't see one team just dropping off completely.
Yeah.
And I think West Ham will come away with a win in this game. West Ham can do this, and their fans need to get behind them at London Stadium. They need to make it rocking, because I have seen, the moment they go a goal down, all of them just go in for a pint. They go inside for a pint. You see it on the matches.
What's wrong with going for a pint?
Most of them leave the stadium and don't support the fan. They need... You buy a football ticket.
If I was a West Ham fan, I'd
go
be
and
going
support
for a
the players. You don't leave to the turnstile, because all the players think is that the fans have turned on them. West Ham need to get behind them, and if they do, and the players get onto form, they're going to win this game 2-1. That is my prediction. The Hammers are going to win and get to 7 points in the table.
So what you're saying basically is we need a 12th man.
We need a 12th
Let's
man.
be having you.
Yes.
Brentford, Theo, I look back at their last 16 away games, and there's something in common in all of them. They've scored a goal. So Brentford always score away from home. And yes, you've gone for 2-1. I think this could be a shock. But Brentford are a funny one. They're very hard to predict this season. So I'm just going to sit on the fence and say 1-1.
It's funny, looking at this game, Brentford could win. And that is to end our Game Week 8 predictions. Good night. Bye-bye.